one of those cars that everybody says, go find me that complete service history, great example that you know everything about back to day one, that has no outstanding issues, that you don't need to deal with any problems whatsoever. So as a lot of you know, the 107 body style SL came out in 1972, and this was the final year of this body style in 1989. It was the final rendition of the 560 SL, which came out in 1985. This example was sold new at Mercedes-Benz Canada in North Vancouver, British Columbia. It was sold by a long-standing salesman there who, when I got into the business at Mercedes-Benz, he was one of the top guys in the country, Bruce Lowe. He sold the car on March 16th of 1989, so it's a very late production car, one of the very last that would have been delivered in our area. And then he took it back from the original owner and resold it as a Mercedes-Benz pre-owned example from the same dealership that sold it new, the same dealership that serviced it since new, on September 17th of 1993. In the document file, there's absolutely every piece of documentation you could possibly imagine an 89 560 SL would come with. It's got all of the books that it would come with new, so owner's manual, maintenance book, the tire warranty cards, blah, 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 blah. We will upload photocopies of all of those. There's, I think, 27 pages of service records and stamps in the books that go with the car, plus 44 pages of invoices that we obtained with the car, along with a 3-page document, which we have with us here, which is $2,527.98 at 30,048 kilometers. Currently we have 30,081 kilometers on the car. We took it to 3 Point Motors Mercedes-Benz and had them go through the car end to end. We gave them a Amex on file, said don't phone for authorization, go ahead and do absolutely anything that you can find that the car needs. We did a retrofit to the air conditioning system to the R134, and we put 4 new tires on it, did brake fluid flush, installed an antenna grommet, fuel gauge sender unit, and a couple other little things. Anyway, I'm driving, you should be looking at that, but a copy of that will be in the file for you to look at. So in terms of history and provenance, we have a 2-owner car. It was the first 44 pages of service records are all at Mercedes-Benz North Vancouver, so the same dealer that sold it new has serviced it since brand new for the second owner from 1993 on to 2022, when we obtained it from the second owner. The car is absolutely impeccable. So we just had a 12,000 mile car on Bring a Trailer, I think you would have seen, sold for $75,500 US. We had a 9,000 mile example that sold at RM Sotheby's in January in Arizona. It sold for $145,000 US. I drove both of those cars and spent time in both of them, and I can honestly say this one actually shows a little bit better than both of those. And it's hard to believe, but if you look at the center console, all the wood and whatnot, it has no milking, it has no signs of any cracks or discoloring or anything whatsoever. Every piece of wood, so this lower section, the ashtray, this upper section, all these pieces along the top of the dash, they're all in impeccable condition. They, which is the first thing that you see go. A lot of these cars on the tops of the dash right here, they tend to split at the top portion of the dash. The steering wheel, all of the stitching and whatnot inside the steering wheel is still in impeccable shape. There's no separation, there's no discoloring of any sort. Stuff like the white inside of the shifter area here, these often start to yellow if they've been in the sun a lot, which is, par for the course with a convertible that you're going to get some discoloration. All the gauges and everything, all the orange and all the gauges is still in impeccable condition. The outside temperature indicator works. The radio works. I'll just show you. Power antenna works like it should. Inside map light. I think it's under here.
It is.
It's in somewhere you can't see. Anyway, but we did go through every single light, switch, gauge, everything to ensure that it's all in impeccable condition. Looking at the car from a driver's position, the only thing I can see on the passenger's mirror there's a little bit of discoloration in the mirror.
I think it's actually it's cleaning products, I think.
Okay. But I'm on the highway now, and it feels great. It tracks straight. Obviously, we just put 4 new tires on it. I'm just going to get off and then get back on and go through the gears so we can have a chance to accelerate under load and just show you how the transmission shifts and whatnot. But you can hear there's no squeaks, there's no rattles, there's nothing that really detracts from this car whatsoever. And you know, I started at Mercedes-Benz in '97, and I remember these cars. Obviously, they were the last of the, a lot of people say, the great SLs. And so I saw a lot of great examples early on in my career, you know, cars with 5,000-10,000 kilometers and miles on them. And, you know, this car shows like it's got 5,000 miles on it. It doesn't show like it's got 18,000 miles. So it's 30,000 kilometers. So I'm going to just accelerate onto the highway here. Shifts impeccably. All the suspension feels good. Thing runs and drives perfect.
It does.
There's braking all the way down to almost a stop. No pulsation in the pedal. Everything really feels great. These have really caught on in the last 5 years as being a collectible. You know, it's funny when you see cars go through their stages of being the greatest car. This was one of the first cars to trade in that $100,000 level as a new car, and then it depreciated down to being just a used car, and now they've really caught on to being a collectible. And finding great ones is difficult because so many of them were used as daily drivers, because they're such a great car to drive on a daily basis. You know, they have all the creature comforts that you want: power windows, and you know, automatic transmission, and you know, creature comforts like airbags and ABS brakes. It's a pretty easy car to get in and go on a daily basis. The soft top is original on the car. We took great photos of the soft top, so you can see everything is in great shape on the soft top. There's no cracks in any of the windows.
The windows are super clear. There's no there's no chafing points on it. The color is extremely rich. Is it what's the brown called at the top?
Brown.
Oh, well, great. So the brown.
How they came up with that name.
The brown, the color in the top isn't faded at all. But yeah, important to note that the windows in it are very clear.
I guess talking about any negatives on the car, there is a few panels with paintwork that are obviously just chip repairs or scratches that were repaired. You can tell that the past owner obviously was fastidious about their car just based on the service records. You look at the repetitive service that they went through for 12,000 kilometers of total ownership, just under actually, 11,500 kilometers of total ownership, and I think it amounts to, you know, 30 some odd pages of service records that they did. All the air care certificates in where the car was registered, you had to pass emissions on an annual basis, and I think there was 12 or 14 pages of emissions records. It's now something that you don't have to do anymore. That's why that would have come to an end. But it's, you know, it's pretty remarkable to see a car with this level of documentation, you know, on what most would say is a pretty pedestrian SL. It's not like they bought it as a collector's item. They just kept it impeccable because they were fastidious about how they kept their car. Car has all its keys. It has the latches for removing the hard top and the soft top. You see those are the original key tags from the dealer from 1989. You can see the stock number there. They'll match the stock number on the documents that come with the car.
Probably also worth noting, you will find them in the photos as we documented it, but all of the original VIN stickers are on all the panels. So trunk lid, hood, both front fenders, both door jambs.
In the trunk, obviously, you would have a toolkit, jack, and spare tire. All are 100% complete.
Toolkit's never been opened.
Yeah, toolkit is still in its original wrapper, so it's never been opened. It's completely the way it would have been the day it left the dealership.
Tire looks like new, smells like rubber, has the kind of chalky white I don't know, residue on the exterior of the tire. I did not check the date code, but either it's brand new and it's
we just took the original tires off this car, so that would be
it's very, very supple. It does not need replacing. So
everybody's gonna ask about exporting the car from Canada. Can we do it? Yes. The answer is this: there's 2.71% duty on your final bid price. There's about $750 US of costs to cross the border, and there is no modifications that we need to do whatsoever. The vehicle does not have to have any modifications because it's older than 25 years old. The speedometer records in kilometers currently. If you wanted to have it calibrated to US miles, I would factor in somewhere in that $800 range to do so. Finding a US cluster at a wrecker and having a company like Palo Alto Speedometer calibrate it for you is the easiest way to do it. If you want to leave it in kilometers, which we would highly recommend, so that the service records match exactly what's on the physical odometer for the balance of the vehicle's life, that would be our recommendation, but there is no modifications to do to get in the US. It is California EPA DOT compliant, so if you want to register in the state of California, this is 50 state legal from an emissions standpoint. One cool thing about the Canadian cars over the US cars, almost all of them came with heated seats. Option code 873, as you can see, it illuminates there. There's passenger driver's side heated seat. That's not something you see on a lot of the US vehicles. Obviously in California, where so many of these were sold, there's a lot less need for heated seats. Ashtray looks like brand new in there. And if you're in a hot climate, this new air conditioning is so cold, I think it would freeze.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable how good it runs. We're going to pull over up the street here, do a quick walk around and let you have a look at the exterior of the vehicle. We'll show you all the tags with the VIN stickers on each panel and just give you a good sense of the overall condition inside the engine bay, trunk lid, and each panel of the car. If you have any questions, please reach out. Contact seller button is there in the auction. That's the best place to reach out with specific questions about the car, and we're always very quick to get back to you and go from there. So thank you very much for looking, and good luck to the high bidder. We are selling at no reserve. You're the final bidder. You are the owner.